Hi, this is Diane Greco-Allen, your food relationship coach. I'm a functional medicine certified counselor and coach, and also a functional medicine nutrition counselor. I just wanted to step into this space today talking about pregnancy. And I just saw a video with Dr. Aviva Ram, and she was talking about a book that a young girl had written, which talks about the pleasures of labor and understanding that it doesn't have to be horrific. And, some of us may have had some unfortunate circumstances around our pregnancies, and we don't want to scare young women, but we want to help them be prepared and know better what to do around that time to make pregnancy a little bit more enjoyable and relaxing, and to embrace the fact that you're bringing a new baby into the world. Okay, so this young lady's name was, I believe, Ali Yarrow, and I'm not sure what her book is named, but I think it's Rethinking Birth. That was the topic, and that brought me to thinking about amniotic fluid. Okay, so I'm all about balancing the electrolytes, the fluid and electrolyte balance, how to balance all your minerals if you're imbalanced, why, and how to bring that into a better space. So if you've experienced either a C-section, you've had a preemie, you had some issues around fertility, if you've had any of those types of things in your life, okay, I'm going to take it to the next generation. So we're talking about your children and grandchildren, all right? So where you are with your health could have been that there were some maybe imbalances with hormones, electrolytes, minerals, and maybe some toxicity involved. And I want to take one moment to step back from all of that to honor why I'm wearing this. I'm wearing that in memory of my sister. My sister died at the age of 49. She was 10 years younger than me, and she had developing issues that fell into the mental health range for a long period of time. She was the youngest of 6 in our family. My mother was around 40 when she had my sister. So there's so much to how we look at pregnancy, how we look at the next generation, what you can do to give yourself the energy and boost your immune system and cellular function, because that's what we want to do. In order to boost those different processes that occur throughout the body, especially during pregnancy, because you want to give that little baby, infant, fetus, you want it to develop in a way that it's going to thrive and be successful in life. All right. So you're going to give it the best you can. We got to forgive what they didn't know before and go away from all these little myths that I know that my mom always said, oh, you're carrying a girl, you're carrying a boy. She would say, I know by the way you're holding that baby. So whether it was low or high or whatever, maybe it was testosterone, maybe it was estrogen, whatever was causing different ways of looking at things. But I want to get back to this because this is from Oaxaca, Mexico. And after my sister died, I thought about how can I bring that memory to me in a positive way. And she died down in Mexico after going there on a trip after her daughter graduated high school. And she was not in good health. She had received the vaccines, and I just know that she was not in a good place financially or mentally to be able to recover because she had multiple surgeries not far before that. So I want to think about she had a preemie and where she fell in the family, how things went. It's not just about my sister, it's about my own experiences, it's about other women who maybe have had issues around, like I said, carrying a baby and understanding how to support your mitochondria in a way to help your baby and fetus to grow naturally and support your uterine wall, your lining of your whole uterus and cervix and how that all works. So we want to talk about the amniotic fluid that is the little buffering barrier for the baby. And so maybe during those first 3 months, your little baby, there's the that's where the umbilical cord would be. And inside there would be the fetus. And you want to think about what environment is in there. What's the fluid and electrolyte balance in there? How much blood is coming into that baby to create the child? And then think about that. It's like a system of understanding, what would be the best for your baby to be able to grow and for your uterus to function in a way that will allow a natural delivery. I had 4 C-sections, so I was never able to enjoy having a natural delivery. So hypothyroidism is a part of the slowing down of the entire metabolic process in our bodies. Everything's slow. Maybe there's some dehydration involved. Maybe there's not enough amniotic fluid inside to lubricate everything that needs to be lubricated. Maybe the actual uterine wall becomes thin. Okay, so that's your first 3 months. This first 3 months is so extremely important. Now we'll go to the next step. You're going to go to this phase. You're growing. Okay, you're growing. Your uterine wall is growing. The elasticity of the uterine wall has to stay elastic, has to be able to adjust to the growth of that child. And so therefore, you have to be aware of those 5 points of awareness I always talk about and understand those 5 W's around mindful eating, because you are growing a second person. And sometimes it's a third person, because if you're having twins, then you've got you've got more going on there. It's never, you should never think that you can just charge through that pregnancy. It's like running a marathon for 9 months. You're literally, your body is constantly developing this baby. Okay, so you need to know what measures to take to make sure that you're not taking away from the baby and starving that baby. It's either going to starve you or the child. Okay, or your uterine lining and wall will develop some issues. Now, for the full, some people end up in this stage, unfortunately, trying to get to the next step, and that's where they have a premature baby, because things were weak, was not able to form. If you think about getting to this next level, you're able to hold that child to the next level. And this would be maybe a 6 to 7 pound baby. Okay. And then you got to think about all that amniotic fluid. So what does it take for you to build this child to be able to come out. Okay, then this little area here, also there's a chance of still having some issues with blood pressure, blood sugar, hypothyroidism, all these things. If you're not aware of breathing and meditation, what you're eating, that triggers all your hormones, the pancreas, the insulin, and all those different hormones in your endocrine system, from the pineal gland to the hypothalamus, the pituitary. That's where you got to think about those temperatures that you're checking, your thyroid, your parathyroids, your adrenal glands, your pancreas, all those things. And then, of course, your sex hormones. All those things are playing a role in developing this little baby. So you're thinking about the strength of the blood coming in. If it's being squeezed for any reason, you're putting a lot of pressure. A lot of people are running marathons on top of running a marathon. They're already, this is your marathon right here, honey. And you should be proud of this. Yoga, Tai Chi, movement. Yes, we do need cardiovascular for lymphatic function. But if you're doing extremes, you're going to cause some distress to this little infant fetus baby. Okay? So we got to think about how the fluid and electrolytes, we think always that, oh, we just have to drink a ton of fluid and electrolytes. What you need is to balance what you're bringing in to your body in the way of foods that also carry water and fiber, have enough fat to develop the neurovascular system, because it's nerves and the blood vessels, and then maybe, make sure that you're getting enough rest to help that whole scenario, because if you're not sleeping, you're not rebuilding. You're working against development. And so growth and development is a part of helping to have a natural delivery where you have enough strength during that delivery to be able to let that baby come out naturally. And sure, it hurts because these are contractions. No matter how you think about it, it is a muscular contraction, and these babies are going to, your body's going to try to get that baby out the best it can. Now, if they're giving you oxytocin to help boost that process, that can help. But I'm going to tell you that we can go in a different direction, back it up, take it under control, because oxytocin is a hormone. Okay? We need to be able to build our hormones. Look at that clock. Look at your rest levels, what you're nourishing yourself with. If you're giving yourself a lot of carbs, overdosing on those sugars, those simple sugars, that ice cream, those cookies, those cakes, those breads that we love, all those things. If you want a beautiful baby and you want a natural birth, really, you need to back things up and focus right now. Take those steps, because this will only help your child along their lifespan. The other thing to take into consideration is, along with the fluid and electrolytes, you can go into all the OB-GYN issues that you can have and develop during these times. And then later on in your life, you can develop all kinds of issues related to your uterine wall and how maybe things aren't working. You get heavy bleeding. There's a lot of things that are causing a lot of issues and can lead to fibroids and all kinds of even ovarian and uterine cancers, any of those things, in addition to breast cancer. Even the people that didn't have babies, these can all be connected, okay? So there's no judgment around it. This is education about where you might be. Maybe you were not able to have a child. Maybe there were some other things around that fertility issue. And I want to give you that space to say, it's okay. I maybe did not have children. But for those that are really intent on having a healthy baby, this is where you can step into the right space. Now, I'm going to plug 2 books here. One is the Functional Nutrition Cookbook, which is a great cookbook to get for yourself. And it's written by 2 women, Lorraine Nicole and Christine Bailey. And I believe that this is a great start for you to start on your way. There's also RDN, Lily Nichols. I always plug her because she's had 3 children and she was an RDN. My journey was nursing. I was giving medicine. Her journey was to understand nutrition, and she's gone in a more natural way to understand how that process works. For the next level, once you get beyond, once you're entering into the grandparent era, then you want to look at this, Menopause by Anna Cabeca. And what I love about Anna Cabeca is that she is an OBGYN and she's got daughters. So she's had birth. I say that sometimes it takes the experience of going through that to understand it and understanding what your body is experiencing. And I always give a lot of pause to anybody who has to go through what we call menopause. And that's the other thing. We get confused about menopause. I always call it the pause of men. But what I say is you don't have to pause with men. You can still be sexually active and you can have an enjoyable life beyond 60 without all those hot flashes, without all those issues that you might be experiencing in relation to having good natural sex. So, we want to talk about the experiences of what you can do mindfully with your food to help you have a more natural experience with delivery, with your baby. And I know sometimes there's a lot of stress around that because a lot of people are working. So you need to really value where you're putting your energy and how to give as much energy to that fetus so that the growth and development occurs as it should. Diane Greco-Allen, Food Relationship Coach. Please reach out. You can contact me on my website. You can also contact me on Linktree. I am on Instagram and Facebook. I will post those sites under this video, and please subscribe to my channel, ring my bell, and remember that honor the grief that you're going through if you lost a loved one. Thank you and have a wonderful day.